Are you trying to make me look bad by not inviting me? You could have at least invited me to come and see your fiancé before the both of you get married, right? Huh? I heard about what's going on with you through the grapevine page. You're not planning on getting married, right? And just recently you had the family get together to see him with you, right? Yet you decided to be a complete jerk after not inviting your own little sister to see him. I never thought about you as such a cold person, okay? Until today. Why are you coming to me with all of this right now? First of all, what makes you think I'd invite my sister after she cut ties to me? Are you still going on about how you and I don't talk anymore? It was only you that chose to cut ties with me and have since then always ignored me in every way. Are you actually going to be this upset with me taking your ex-boyfriend from you to the point you have to act like a baby the rest of your life about it? Huh? What did you say? I wasn't doing anything wrong by taking him away. I just wanted to have a little fun, and he was the fun I was willing to take from my own sister. I get that you want to be upset about that still, but how about you blame your crappy ex-boyfriend for that one? I was just caught in his crossfire is all. He was already looking for a new woman, and I was right there at the time. So be mad at him, all right? What is wrong with you and this idea that you can just get away with something like that? I am aware that he is stupid for what he's done, and I'm pissed about that, but you don't just get a free pass for something like that. Hearing from you yourself now that you stole him from me all for a little fun just disgusts me now. I think it's only fair that I asked you to stay the hell away from me. What? And it wasn't just that you stole him from me, but you got pregnant from him as well. I was at the point in my relationship with him that I really wanted to marry him. Yet when you should have been coming to me with a massive apology, you started talking about how we should celebrate you having his baby. Do you have any idea how badly you hurt me back then by acting like that? What are you going on about? It's making me laugh. Did I really say something like that? It may have been years ago now, but no matter how many years it's been, I am never forgiving you for that. I don't ever want to see your face again, and after today, I don't plan on ever talking to you again, and I mean it this time. Then, does this mean that you're not going to even invite me to your wedding? Not even inviting your own little sister to your wedding? Are you really sure you want to do that to me? I've already explained what kind of monster you are to my man and his parents. And they are all very happy with my decision to leave you out of my life. So you are never going to be meeting with him. Now, since you should understand that, don't ever talk to me again.
Hey, Paige, the two of us, I think it's time we both started working on being a thing again. Now that I've had a little time to think on it, you and I should be getting married.
Huh? What is going on with me having to talk to both of you in one day now? I just had to talk with Alisa, and now you?
What? You spoke with Alisa a little bit ago.
Yeah, just a little bit ago. She told me she never heard about my wedding and that she was upset with me not inviting her to see my fiancé. What makes her think she can say things like that when we cut ties long ago?
What? Hold on a second. Paige, do you have plans to get married to another man now? You have a man like me around, yet you plan to marry another man?
Excuse me?
There's no way that's allowed to happen. You are going to get back together with me. You should be happy that you got this text from me saying I want to get back together with you. Paige, you should be getting married to me.
Shut the hell up, Kurt. Who do you think wants to get back together with you right now? And by the way, don't you already have a kid with Alisa? Don't frickin' ask me to get back together with you when you have a new responsibility now.
Now listen to me, Paige. To be honest with you, her and I don't actually have a kid. All of that was a lie to get you to let me have her at that time.
Huh?
That chick was trying to take advantage of me. She made that lie up to make me responsible for her, and that was her plan of getting you to leave me. And that changed my mind and made me want to marry her. But right after her and I married, she told me the baby was never a thing.
Is that so?
But I never thought she would actually lie to me, and I believed that she really would have my baby. I only really wanted to be with her all this time because of that baby, but when I really did learn that it was a farce, I asked to divorce her. But my parents both told me that if I didn't stay with her and take care of her until the end, that they'd be cutting ties with me. but I don't want to be with her anymore.
So it's not just that she lost the baby. In reality, she was never carrying a baby to begin with?
Yeah, that's right. And once I found all of that out, it was over for her. I learned that she hated always being in second place to you. And that's why she wanted to steal one of your boyfriends from you. So she made that lie up in order to break us apart and get me to go after her.
And so she made up a lie saying that she was carrying your baby? What tenacity.
When I asked her about why she did all of that to you and I, she just started to laugh. You found out, huh? That's all she had to say about it.
That girl is really something.
It was the worst for me. She acted like I was just some game for her to play. If it hadn't been for that lie, you and I would have never had to break up back then. So hey, Paige, let's you and I get back together. The only person I've ever loved had only been you, okay?
You really think I'm going to believe such crap like that? Even if she didn't lie about carrying your baby, you and I would have been finished.
What?
I can totally sympathize with the fact that she lied to you to get you to play along with her. But you have no right trying to make yourself out as the victim in all of this. Whether it was true that she had your baby or not, you still cheated on me with her. I don't care if it happened to be a one-night thing between you two, or if it had been going on for a while. The truth is that you slept with her, and that's enough to get me to leave you.
I can see that, but the woman I truly love is only you, Paige. Please, let's you and I get back together. If you don't, my life is going to be over with. If I can't fix things with you, I won't have anywhere to go, and I won't ever be able to get that company.
Huh? Company?
When I found out that it really was all a lie, I divorced her and got away. And from there I went back to my parents' place, but they told me they had had enough of me. I tried so hard to explain the situation to them, but they wouldn't forgive me for what had happened. And that's when they told me that they would never let me run their company either in the future.
Now that you mention it, you're the son of a CEO, right?
It's not that huge of a company though, okay? But at this point, I won't have anything left for me. The only way to get my life back is to get back into my family. I've been going back to their house night after night, now crying and begging for them to forgive me. And to my surprise, it seems they started to lighten up to me a bit. They came to the door just the other day and told me that I needed to get married.
Married?
They said that if I wanted their forgiveness, I needed to find another woman to get married again. They then stated that depending on who the woman was that I married, they'd rethink things about me. They want for me to have a wife and house again, and said that if I can make that happen, they'll rethink letting me have their company.
I see. And that's your reason for wanting me to get back together with you? You want me only as a tool to help you get back on your parents' good side so that you can get their company?
Now, you don't have to say it like that, okay? If I'm able to become the next owner of that company, I'll be able to treat you to a lot of things. You won't even have to work or anything like that. I just want you to be by my side, and that's all I ask. I want to make things up to you for having cheated on you way back then.
Well, thank you for that offer. But please, go out and find yourself another woman who might respect you a little bit more.
What?
Find a woman that will take good care of you and stay by your side as you treat them with all your parents' company's money. I'm sure there will be a lot of women that would love to marry you if you started to tell them they'd never have to work again.
I've already tried that, but nobody's bitten. It appears that most people in the city around our age already know about how I ended up going for my ex's younger sister mid-relationship. I've tried so hard to get women to just listen to my side of the story, but they won't have it. So please, you're the only woman left for me. Please, get married to me, Paige.
No, thank you, Kurt. If you're not able to find any woman in this city willing to marry you, then go try searching in another city far away from here. Or what about this? Why don't you just remarry my lying little sister and rekindle what love you had for her before?
I can't.
I'm going to go now. Hey, Alisa? What the hell is this? Were you able to get the wedding invitation? When I heard that you'd be getting married, I just knew I had to get up and do something myself. I'm inviting you to my wedding, so make sure you RSVP and come. I'm not talking about your wedding, but about the man you plan on marrying. The man's name that's written on here looks a whole lot like someone I know. The exact same, actually. Ah, you already saw that? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm going to be getting married to your fiancé. I was proposed to by him. Huh? He did it just as I was starting to think about stealing him from you. I can't believe he'd contact me asking for my hand in marriage the moment I started to think that I'd go after him. Perfect timing. Hold on a minute, Alisa. Did you think you'd be able to get another one of my partners again? I did. After all, it's really fun to do. I just love looking at your reaction the moment you hear about me taking one of your most valuable things, and that being the men you like. You always turn red like a lobster and begin to sob and scream. It's all so hilarious. Watching you go ballistic and lose your mind is one of my favorite pastimes, Paige. What kind of messed up hobby is that? I know that you've always had a great time in the past taking my clothes and toys from me just to laugh at me crying. But you taking men from me gives you that same kind of joy? This has seriously all been on purpose then? It sure has. I loved taking things like your dolls from you and coloring all over them with markers to make you scream, and take your clothing from you only to return them all covered in mud and crap. It's so much fun watching you go off like an insane person when you watch me ruin all your most important things. So that's your reason for taking Kurt from me back in the day? And now I have your fiancé. And by the way, he is such an outgoing man. I haven't even met him in person, yet he's already started by asking me to marry him over the phone, and in such a loving and romantic way too, which is hard to say given he did say it over text, but he still made it seem so beautiful. Wait, you haven't even met him in person yet? He told me that you were trying so hard to keep the thought of me out of his head in any way possible. But when he went to Mom and Dad's house with you, he saw a few pictures of me there. And so that's what got him to immediately start falling for me, and he spent day after day working with all his power to find my phone number. Are you kidding me? And so, with all that being said, I am once again going to be stealing another important partner of yours. And not only will I be stealing him from you, but I've already been proposed to him, and I will be getting married before even you two could have your wedding. My groom is going to be your fiancé. I'll make sure to have a seat made up for you at the wedding where you can watch the two of us get married with the best view possible. I got married 2 years ago, though. Huh? So I'm telling you right now that my man cannot marry you. It's not allowed in our state to marry two different people, so I don't think you'll be able to get away with it. Actually, he's sitting right next to me right now and is telling me he's never met you or talked to you. He's a bit freaked out right now. He keeps asking why he's going to have to marry you while pacing around the room. Wait a sec. You said you two got married 2 years ago? What are you talking about? There's a rumor going around about you getting married soon, right? And you only just had the family meet with him a few weeks ago, right? I'm not sure who you're hearing all these rumors from, but those are all just rumors. If you'd like to hear the real news, the next one getting married will be my husband's little brother. We did happen to have a family meeting with him a few weeks ago, but I was only with him and his family because I'm his older brother's wife. Are you kidding me? So in other words, you had the wrong idea all along. You took that rumor for fact and jumped to conclusions way too quickly. So, you really did get married 2 years ago? But I happened to get a text from him directly. It had to have been from your fiancé, Robert, right? He told me that he realized just how beautiful I am and that he wants to marry me. He then told me that he'd break things off with you before your wedding and come for me. If you can't believe me, then I'll send you his messages as proof. Are you sure you weren't just confused about all of that as well? What? Just like with the rumor, you might have started to make things up in your head and made yourself think that the man you're talking to is my Robert. I mean, people can say they are whoever they want to be, right? So that guy might have just changed his name to match my husband's in some way to get you to go after him. They would never do that to me, right? I mean, you haven't even met them in person, right? So you seriously can't start thinking that they're my husband until you've at least met them in person, okay? Wait. What are you going on about? I'm really scared now. If he's not really your fiancé, then who the hell is he? You think I'd know who he is? How about you text him and ask? This is the worst. Just as I was starting to think it was some idiot, it turned out to be Kurt. He lied about being your man just so he could get me to say yes about marrying him. So it turns out it was Kurt that lied to you about who he was? I have no idea what's going on here now. What the hell does he want with me? I was already in the works of handing in my marriage forms and everything to Robert, and he's going to tell me that he'd been lying about being Robert? I was feeling so good thinking that I'd once again been able to take another one of your men. But because of that idiot, I've lost all that happiness. Hold on now, what do you mean you've sent in those marriage papers? He asked me to do that for him. He told me that in order to get married to him as soon as possible to send in the marriage papers. That's why I got in my car and went over to the city office as quickly as I could to sign the papers and hand them in. It cost me my money to do all of that as well. I'm pissed now knowing that all of that work to get those papers filled out was a waste. My God. So this is it for you then, huh? Huh? What do you mean this is it for me? I'd say you're better off calling the city office and asking them about what you'd just done. I think you might have just filled out the forms to marry Kurt instead of Robert. Huh? Why? What are you talking about? Stop talking to me and go call the office and ask them. You'll learn a lot more from them. I heard about it all from Alisa. You lied to her and got her to marry you?
And because of what you recommended to me, I'll finally be able to get my parents' company. Thanks for that one, Paige.
What?
You told me before to just remarry your little sister, right? Well, I took that into consideration and followed through. I thought that if even you were telling me you didn't want to marry me, then my only choice would be getting back with Alisa again. But ever since her and I got divorced, she's been ignoring all my texts and everything. So I went ahead and created a new number and labeled myself as your fiancé, and that's how I got her to bite.
So you did all that to get her to sign the marriage forms? I feel like that right there is like what she did to you in the first place that pissed you off. Lying to you about her baby, and now you've lied to her about your identity.
Who cares? I was able to trick her into signing the paperwork, and now my parents are pleased with me. I'll be able to get that company from them and be the next CEO.
But you do understand how Alisa must feel now.
Huh? She did the same thing to me, so who actually cares?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, while you and her have fun with yet another mess, let me just tell you that I've been married now for 2 years.
What? Is that right?
So with that, can we just agree to focus on ourselves now and not get involved with one another anymore? You and Alisa can go right ahead and enjoy your second time being married to one another, and I can go back to focusing on my family. Paige, what should I do? I'm married to Kurt again. They've already completed all the processing for the marriage, and I can't have them revoke it now. Well, you did happen to sign it yourself in person there, so I don't think they'd revoke it without a really good reason from you anyway. And what makes all this worse is Kurt is being a real dick right now. He's not apologizing to me whatsoever for lying about him not being Robert. All he keeps telling me now is to shut up and come to his place. I am not going to go to his parents' house and live with all of them again. But now you'll be able to be the wife of a soon-to-be CEO, right? You'll live the life of a rich person, so what's so bad about that? What about their life means I'll live like a rich person? They're telling me they'll only give me a little bit of money each month. And Kurt's told me that once his parents are too old to care for themselves, I will have to step in and care for the both of them. I do not want to live the life as some old people's caretaker. Oh my, I guess Kurt is going to be pretty strict about things this time. He told me back when he wanted me to get back together with him after we married, I wouldn't have to do a thing besides sit back and relax. I think he's still upset with me after I lied to him about being pregnant. So he told me that the only reason he married me is to get the company from his parents and that there's no love in it. I really messed up thinking that he loved me as much as he did back then. Because now he's going to ruin my life by being so cruel to me. Oh my, oh my. Please, Paige, can you come and help me? I really want to divorce him now and get away from this hellhole. You think I'm going to listen to your cries for help? You and I have been far from one another for a long time now, and I still haven't said that I'm done having cut ties with you. I'll apologize for everything I did to you before. I'm so sorry for being a jerk to you all your life. Just think about it as me being really jealous of you this whole time, okay? I mean, you had lots of friends, you studied for all your classes, and you could play all kinds of sports. I think I was just wanting to be so much more like you that I started to bully you in some ways. But I will never do anything like those things to you again, so forgive me, please. No frickin' way. What? After hearing what you just said to me, I'm actually starting to hate you even more. I have taken such good care of all my friends, and I made sure to actually put time into both sports and school so that I'd be a really successful woman. But in your case, you never bothered to fix that selfish attitude of yours, and always told Mom and Dad that studying and sports were stupid and that you didn't want to try. So you're going to tell me now that you were jealous of all that stuff even though you said it was all stupid before? I'm not going to forgive a single thing that you've done to me. I'm sorry about that. But this time I've really learned that what I did was not all right. Have fun living in the hell you've asked for. Since I'm upholding my end of me cutting ties to you, I'm not going to be celebrating this wedding. So, have a great life. Kurt went ahead and took Alisa with him back to his parents' house. But when he brought her home with him, his parents said that they didn't want him to be getting remarried to the woman he'd just divorced and were furious with him. His dad even went ahead and told him that all of the company's customers knew about how Kurt and Alisa's relationship went last time and that it's put a strain on the company's image. And then proceeded to tell Kurt that he would not allow such a waste to be the next CEO of his company. So right then and there, Kurt's parents kicked him and Alisa out of their house for good. Kurt began to freak out, saying that they didn't follow the promise they made to him while standing in their front yard. He even went to the company and started to make a big deal about his dad's choice. And all the employees that walked into work that day told him they'd never work for a man that thought it was okay to cheat on his girlfriend with her little sister and then marry said sister. They even began to ask if he'd be able to pay them all when the time came that the company began to fail if he became their CEO. So many of the employees began digging into Kurt that he ran away from the place bawling his eyes out. Unfortunately for Alisa, she can't find a way to run away from Kurt. And so as of right now, they're both having to work part-time jobs in the city and live in a small and old apartment where they barely make enough to afford it. But with this marriage, they won't even speak a word to one another, and I'd have to say it seems like the most quiet marriage in the world at the moment. What the hell are you thinking, Madison? Why did you just come out of that place with Raymond? What is going on with you, Sherry? Coming at me with all these phone calls without at least giving me a text first? Stop trying to act like what you've done is not a problem and get to explaining things. I heard from Raymond that for the next month he'd be out of the state for a business trip. But for some reason I saw you going into his house yesterday. And after a full day, you are finally coming back out of that house? And not just by yourself, but with Raymond while the two of you share laughs and smiles? What? You've been watching me in his house ever since yesterday afternoon? I knew it. You are just his stalker. I wasn't watching you in his house like that because I enjoyed it. Recently, I've noticed that Raymond has been acting pretty suspicious. And when I've been over at his place the past few weeks before he left, his room smelled like someone else's perfume. There have also been days where he wasn't responding to my texts at all. And that's why yesterday, when I had finally had enough of him ghosting me all the time, I went over to make sure he was actually on a business trip, and there you were. So, Madison, you've been the one going out with Raymond then? And so what? What are you trying to say about me, Sherry? Just because you're only finding out about this now doesn't change anything. Although you are finding out a lot sooner than we had both expected. What is up with that attitude towards me? Raymond is supposed to be my fiancé right now, right? Are you a freaking idiot? You're going out with your friend's fiancé right now. Huh? From what I've been told, he's no longer engaged to you anymore. He's planning on getting married to me now. So stop trying to play this as though you've been cheated on when there's no love between you guys anymore. Huh? He told me that he's thrown you away and will be marrying me when the time's right. So no matter how upset you get over this, it's not going to change the fact that he's mine now. Raymond has finally become my man now. What? Wait a second. You guys are planning to get married now? For a long time now, I've been trying to get him to fall for me, but recently he finally took the bait and came after me. For a little while, he wasn't even bothering to look at me, and hearing that he'd gotten engaged to you made me really sweat. But I was able to make one last play that ended perfectly for me. He finally came around to me and said that I'm the one. You've been going after him this whole time? What? Madison, have you always been in love with Raymond the whole time we've been friends? That's right. Ever since middle school with him, I've always been watching him, waiting for him to come to me. What? However, for some unknown reason, he never did come to me, instead going for some basic chick like you. Even making sure to let everyone know that he had gotten engaged to you last year. You really were so lucky to get a part-time job working at the same place as him. But it wasn't fair because I had been eyeing him up for years before you ever met him in college. He knew that I was into him, and even now he tells me that he felt my love. And since he's felt that love from me far longer than from you, it's natural for him to come back to me. What? So you've been going after one man, Raymond, ever since middle school? After middle school, I followed him to the same high school, and after high school to the same university. I made sure that I was never out of his sight this whole time. And when the time came that I finally knew I needed to go and ask him out, he fell for some chick at his part-time job. But that wasn't what upset me, because I thought for sure that your guys' relationship wouldn't last long. But here we are, years since then, and you guys became engaged. So that's why I had to take action and steal him from you before it was too late. What's so wrong with having to do that, Sherry? Wait a moment. So back then, when you started to work at the same place with Raymond and I, it wasn't just a coincidence? The day after I started to go out with him, you began to work part-time with us at that place. You already know that wasn't a coincidence. I had to know what kind of woman he had started to go out with, and that's why I began working there. But you didn't even take a second to realize that he was mine and just stood around smiling and talking all happily about your relationship with him. However, even though it hurt me so much to have to see you both being happy, I had to stay on him, and that's why I became your friend. Well, that was all just a sham, Sherry. I had just come from out of town to that local college in town, and while there, I didn't really have any good friends. And even with all the people I ran into every day at school, I just couldn't find anyone to call my friend. Just as I was beginning to feel real loneliness, I had found someone like Raymond and a person to call my friend. Well, me being all friendly to you was only a part of my plan at getting even closer to Raymond. I knew that by getting you to trust me, I'd be making my chance of getting him a whole lot better. It was all just so I could break you both apart and slide right in. That was your plan this whole time? And that was all just because you happened to be able to get to him before me, even though he's mine. But hey, I was just lucky that you were desperate for a friend, or else I might never have been able to get you to think I was a friend to you. To be honest, you are one stupid woman, and having to be around you a lot was really degrading. And I tried so hard to get Raymond to notice me the whole time I was faking being your friend, but for some reason it took more work to get him than I thought. Heck, I even started to make mistakes at work and blamed them on you to try and get Raymond to leave you, thinking you were useless. You're kidding, right? That whole time working there after you came, I remember our boss yelling at me all the time for things I never did. So that was all because of you then? That whole time you were just trying to get me in trouble and fired while faking being my friend? And as time went on, we all graduated from university and college, and unlike you, Raymond found a proper job. I really thought that would have been the moment he left you since you couldn't find yourself work, but just as I started to get ready, I heard he had become engaged to you. But that didn't last too long, because all I had to do was tell him my true feelings, and he came to me. If I knew it would have been that easy to get him, I should have just told him my feelings a long time ago. You are such a complete jerk. I can't even comprehend what's happened here because of you. I seriously thought this whole time that you were a real friend to me. However, you never thought of me as your actual friend. And not even that, but you've hated me this whole time? Well, you've also been trying to get Raymond away from me? The only jerk here is you, Sherry. You came out of nowhere and took my man away from me without ever considering my feelings. Do you get it now, though? It's over for you. Raymond is all mine now, and there's nothing you can do to get him back. So you stay the hell away from us now and never ruin my relationship again. I've heard about it all from Madison. The one you've been cheating on me with has been her. And she said that you left me for her and plan on getting married to her now too?
I heard about all of this as well from her. She told me that since yesterday, you've been standing around my house watching us? If you really felt that I was cheating on you, you should have just said so to my face. But instead, you became my stalker and made yourself look like a freak.
You have no right saying I'm the freak when you've been the one cheating on me. Are you not going to at least apologize for what you've done?
Why would I apologize for something I don't feel wrong about doing? I have finally been able to find the #1 girl in the world for me, and she's been in love with me a lot longer than you have. So what's wrong with me choosing her over you?
Huh?
It's so beautiful thinking that she's been in love with me ever since middle school. And what's even more beautiful is that her dad is actually my department manager. I had no choice but to go for her now that I have work relations at stake.
You're telling me that her dad is your boss?
He has the same last name as her, but I never thought that he'd actually turn out to be her dad. But if I'm able to get married to his daughter, I'm sure that will lead to me getting some major promotion within the company. There was no reason for me to stay with you now when I have a gift like her.
You're throwing me away for her, all because she's your better chance at getting promoted? That's your only reason for throwing away the person you've been together with for years and years now?
You're far too old now to still be working odd jobs like you have been. For a long time now, I've actually been resenting ever going out with you, back when we worked together, because you've turned out to be such an idiot. If it wasn't for me always being here to help you out, you would be nothing more than wasted meat. Heck, even before I finally jumped over to Madison, the only real way you were making any money was by coming over to my place to do my chores for me. Really, you've been more like a housekeeper than a fiancé.
A housekeeper? Is that how you've been thinking about me this whole time? So you never loved me for the woman I am, but rather just because I'm able to help you get chores done?
Men love women that are able to get cleaning and cooking done. You would even come over to help me do some of the nastiest jobs, all for a little bit of cash from me in return. But even though you did a good job for me, I've stumbled into an even more amazing and useful woman. Not only is she madly in love with me, but her dad will be my best shot at a promotion. She's perfect.
No, she is not.
Ah, that's right. I've made sure, just in case you want to come, to send you an invitation to our wedding. Make sure to take a good look at it and RSVP soon.
Why would you send something like that to me?
Don't make up anything in your head about this. I'm not sending the invitation to you because I want you there. I want you to stop stalking me now, so hopefully seeing me happy with Madison will make you stop trying.
Huh?
I feel that by saying the truth, that should be enough to even teach an idiot like you that I don't love you anymore. Seeing the evidence of me kissing her after putting on her wedding ring should stop any more thoughts about me from entering your head. Man, you should be so thankful that I'm putting this much thought into you still after having thrown you away. I'm a really nice guy, aren't I?
Hey, Sherry, why are you here showing up to our wedding? And are you completely brainless? Why did you show up wearing a wedding dress yourself? The only person that should be wearing a wedding dress today should be the bride, me. But you're not the only one that's a bride today. Because I myself am a bride today. Huh? Did all that shock of losing Raymond to me melt your brain away? I'm the one that's going to be marrying Raymond. And just because you're here in that perfect fitting wedding dress doesn't mean that he'll come back to you. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not here to try and get Raymond back. Then why are you here wearing a wedding dress? You were thrown away by Raymond months ago, and that makes you the loser. Huh? You think that I'm the loser after all of that? I do. You were the one that got thrown away by your fiancé and had to learn that your friend was never actually your friend. So after having lost the both of us, why are you coming back? You're not going to be able to get him back now because I'm the one that he's chosen to marry. I'm only here in a wedding dress because today is the day of my wedding. Huh? But my wedding starts later today, after yours. And the only reason I'm already in my wedding dress now is because I'm just getting back from a photo shoot this morning. But while we have a break in the photo shoot, I've come inside to go to the restroom. But I forgot where the restroom is, and that's how I stumbled upon this room. And just when I was going to turn around and leave, I saw that this is your guys' wedding. You're going to be having your wedding here later today? What are you going on about? You shouldn't have anyone to marry anymore, right? You lost Raymond to me only a few months ago. So what? Are you just having a wedding by yourself now and are getting photos of yourself taken outside? I understand that Raymond is all yours now. But that doesn't mean that after he left me, I couldn't find someone new to become my husband. And so that new man that I've found is going to be with me for our wedding day. Huh? You found yourself a new man? That's right. I'm getting married to my boss from work. Now, hold on. You're getting married to your own boss? In other words, you're getting married to that old man that was our manager back when we were all working part-time there? I get that after being tossed aside by someone as amazing as Raymond, you try to rebound off of someone else, but... But that's just gross, Sherry. Huh? Well, come on. That old man is in his 70s by now, and you're planning on being married to him? And what's even crazier is that that man was pissed off with you all the time there after what I did to set you up. He really wants to be married to you now? You both must really be that desperate. For him to give up the last bit of his life for someone like you must mean real desperation. You're still young, Sherry. You should rethink being with a gross old man like him and call things off before you tie the knot for good. I'm not getting married to my old manager from that place. I'm getting married to the CEO of the company I currently work for. The CEO of the company you currently work for. And I'm just going to let you know this right now so that you don't continue to stay confused. I am not working as a part-timer anymore. After graduating from college, I worked that part-time job a little bit longer after you guys left before being hired into my current job. And as of right now, I'm working a lot less hours to keep up with all the work I have to get done there. I'm at the point now within my career that the company and my husband trust me with all the projects. Huh? So you're not working a part-time job right now? You're actually a full-time employee now and are working for a decent company? And what's even funnier is that I often go to the company Raymond is working for to help out. But anytime I told him that, he just said for me to keep my dreams to myself. He for some reason believes that I'm freelancing and doing odd jobs. Well, how are you helping with the company he works for as well? And how have you managed to become close to your CEO? There's just no way you could be able to do all of that. You can believe whatever you want to, but this is all true. Now that was enough talking for now. How about we both just wish for both of our weddings to go well today?
Hey, it's all just one big lie, right? That you were going to be marrying the CEO of the company, right? Ah, and you do know that the CEO is actually the CEO of a company that's a huge customer of mine, right? So how the hell is he going to be getting married to you now?
If you really are finding it hard to believe me, you are more than welcome to come sit in on our wedding today. My husband has a lot of guests coming today, so there'll be a lot of seating and we don't plan on making it private. So even you can slide on in for a quick second later today to see with your own eyes who I'll be the bride to.
What?
At first I was really upset to have my wedding at the same place as you both. But it seemed that we needed a place that has a lot of room like this building, so there was no other choice for us in town besides here.
Hey, please, Sherry, can you please tell me that all of that is a lie? If I actually have to believe that you're going to be married to one of the company's biggest customers? And one other thing, it's only been 3 months since you and I fell apart. How are you able to get up from that so quickly and find a new man to be married to? There's no way that all of this is anything but a lie.
You are right to think that this was a pretty quick turnaround. But he explained to me that he wanted to get married even sooner than I did. It appears he's been in love with me for a very long time now and already knew I was the one for him. And so he didn't want to take any more chances waiting on me.
You're telling me that your CEO has been into you for a long time?
He apparently has known about me for a very long time now. In the past, he'd hide who he was from me and come around that old place we worked part-time at to see how I was doing and things like that. And so that's how he knows me from all the way back then and about the work I'd done.
Huh?
I don't want to say this considering it'll make me look like I'm tooting my own horn here, but he seems to have been in love with me ever since the first day he laid eyes on me. And ever since that day, it only took a few years for me to end up within his company. But when he was finally able to see me again and introduce himself to me on a more personal level, I was with you, and so he had to give up for a bit. But later on, after he heard about how you cheated on me and we broke up, he was waiting outside the office while I came into work and asked me out on a date.
You're freaking lying, right? The CEO of that company, he's been in love with you this whole time? And not only in love with someone for that long, but with some part-timer he shouldn't even be worried about? Why did this happen to you?
It is pretty wild to think that he's been in love with me ever since I was working part-time there. But now I can finally begin to understand the power love like that has, much like the love Madison has for you. After all, she's been in love with you ever since middle school, right? Luckily, she is way more useful than me, and that's why it was so easy for you to throw me away.
Well, that wasn't...
Well, now that we're both with people who have loved us forever, even before we knew them, let's treat them with the same love and live happy lives together. After all, they gave up a lot of their time staying committed to us. So let's give back to them by showing equal or greater love. Now, I need to get back to having more pictures taken before the wedding. You both have a wonderful wedding today. It's because of you that everything fell apart. I never asked for a marriage like this. Why the hell is this all happening to me now? It's all because of you that my life has been turned upside down. Huh? What's happened to you? You were finally able to get married to Raymond after all those years spent being in love with him with no reward. Shouldn't you be having the best marriage ever right now? How could this be the best marriage ever? Every time that he looks at my face now, he just lets out a big sigh and then walks away. And he tells me this every single night. He tells me that he should have stayed with you, and that way you both could have gotten married and his life would have been so much better. Are you serious? He talks about how amazing you must be for a CEO to be willing to love you. He says things like how you must be more than just a decently useful woman, and that there must be some magic to you. And then he always finishes by saying that even though I'm the daughter of his boss, he never sees any benefits to being married to me. My. He really has been saying some terrible things to you. I have been trying so hard to get all the chores done around the house for him. But even with all my hard work, he compares me to you, saying that you always made better food for him and made things around the house a lot neater. He said he didn't even have to ask you to iron his shirts because you'd have them done the moment he took them off. He even said that even though he had to pay you a little to do all of that, everything turned out a whole lot nicer for him. All he talks about is you and never says anything nice about me. Now that I've heard all of this, he seems to still have feelings for me then. You may have loved him longer than I did, but that really isn't going to keep his mind thinking of you. Well, I've had enough. And that's why today I went back to my parents' house crying to them. He literally threw you away from me. Yet now he's complaining that I'm not good enough like you were. This is all your fault for making his standards so high. I told my parents all of this, but instead of calming me down and telling me it was going to be okay, they started to get angry at me. They told me that I deserve all of this. Well, it seems to me like your parents are two very understanding people. What about them is so understanding? My dad won't even listen to me anymore and is super frustrated with me. He keeps asking me what I've done for Raymond that's better than you. And that me being the daughter of Raymond's boss doesn't automatically make me better in every way. Well, he makes a great point. Because unlike you, I'm in the same position as your dad now, working as a department manager while you're just a housewife. I'm not happy with any of this. I was supposed to end up with someone better than you could end up with, yet now you get to be the wife of a CEO, and it's heart-wrenching. The Raymond I'm with now is not the man I used to love. If I'd known he'd still be thinking about you, I would have never married him. Right. That makes sense. Life would be a lot better for you now if you hadn't married him. So, is there anything right now that has anything to do with me? Please don't tell me you came to me looking for some kind of care from me, right? Because as far as I'm aware, you're the one that stole him from me. I get that someone like Raymond is a pretty terrible man and that you're all upset with him now. But blaming me for something you did to yourself is not going to get you anywhere. And honestly, I don't care right now that you feel so badly. What? Why are you being so cold to me right now? Aren't we supposed to be friends? I was so close to you and everything, so how you're acting right now is so hurtful. What? Now you think that we're friends? Weird, considering a while back you told me you only faked being my friend in order to get Raymond from me. So you aren't crap to me, Madison. Which means after this, don't even bother trying to talk to me again. Huh? It's because of you that this is all happening to me. Yet you won't even listen to me and try to help fix this? Listen, you dog. Your dad had to tell you about who I am now, right? Yet you're still going to sit there crying like a little baby? Well, if that's how you want to play this, let me tell you something. I could go to my husband right now, telling him about how you won't leave me alone, and you know what? He'll make sure that both your dad and Raymond don't have jobs after today. My husband won't go easy on them either, making sure that they understand just how rude it is of them to let their wife and daughter blame me for something I never did. Please stop! If you do something like that to me, my dad will only become more angry. No, he won't just get angry, but he'll kick me out of the house. And then Raymond will only grow more frustrated with me and it will all be over. Then stop all of this BS and leave me the hell alone, okay? You need to stop messing around trying to hide from Raymond and learn that you are his wife now, and you have to deal with the life you asked for. Or maybe, since you had the nerve to break our relationship apart, you can go get a divorce from him and find another man. If you're really going to complain this much, you must have the energy to do something besides be a pain in my neck. A divorce? I can't. We were finally able to get married. Then learn to deal with him complaining about you not meeting his standards or work harder to meet them. You chose this path, so stop with all this BS. You've loved him ever since middle school, so you should have it in you to love him until the end. Right after that last message to Madison, I never heard anything else from her again. And according to the rumors, those two's relationship ended up turning cold to the point that neither of them would ever talk or even look at one another. But of course, one day Madison ended up blowing up on Raymond. She began to yell at Raymond to divorce her if he was going to regret marrying her so much, and that he wasn't the man that she used to love who was cool and loved to talk. And because of that, for the next 3 months, those two continuously fought one another on their marriage. And these days, whenever Raymond gets home from work, he's met with Madison wearing very middle schoolish type of clothes and talking to him as if they were back in middle school. Well, all I can say is that they've both started to go off the deep end, and I really don't know what else there is to say about where their relationship will go next.
Hey, Rick, do you have time to talk real quick? I was just wondering if you knew anything about these toys in our house.
Toys? What are you talking about, Helen?
Well, I just mean that I was cleaning around the house, and I went into the closet in our room, and I found a bunch of action figures and clothes that a little boy would wear. Do you have any idea what these are? Because we don't have a son, just a daughter that likes to nap a lot.
Okay, first of all, you shouldn't be poking around other people's stuff. I mean, don't you care at all about privacy? What is the matter with you, you stupid woman?
Excuse me? I just told you that I was busy cleaning the house. That includes the room. You've got some nerve talking to me like that when I am working so hard to take care of our kids and keep the house clean. Especially after the way that you yelled at me about how dirty the house was. You literally told me that I should request time off work to clean.
Oh, just shut up already. All I'm telling you to do is not go rifling through my stuff without permission. When I say clean the house, that doesn't mean go through all my stuff as if it's yours.
You really mean to tell me that you wouldn't be mad if I cleaned all the house but your room? Besides, all I want to know is what these clothes and toys are and what they're doing here. Did you forget that we had a little girl or something like that?
Of course I didn't do anything like that at all. I just bought all those things for Nina. I just haven't had time to give her those, and that's all. And that's why I left them in the closet for now.
So you're telling me that you get all these boys' clothes and toys for our daughter?
You really need to wake up. We're living in the 21st century. You can't just be putting all these expectations on children because of the gender. Don't you know that girls can like to play with action figures too? And boys' clothes are more neutral these days than anything else, so girls can wear them if they want.
Yeah, I guess you have a point there. But it still doesn't mean that all of this isn't very odd. And I guess more than anything, I had no idea that you were so progressive in that sense. Especially since I don't think you've ever bought Nina a piece of clothing or a toy before.
Well, I guess I'm full of surprises then, aren't I? But that's your fault for not thinking that I was capable of taking in new ideas or adapting to new times. Anyways, now that you know those are all for Nina, just leave them alone and don't touch them.
Helen, are you there? Just how long are you going to be staying out tonight, huh? I am really starting to hit the limits of my patience here. Come here and pick up your kid right now. Erica, what in the world are you talking about? And why are you texting me this late at night? Are you kidding me? Are you really telling me that you're that irresponsible that you don't even know I'm talking about your kid here? Just how long are you going to make me watch Nina for, huh? Can you please just hurry up and pick her up? I want to go to bed. I'm sorry, Erica, but I'm still really confused. I have no idea what you're talking about at all. I have no idea why you're even pretending to play dumb with this. Do you really expect me to hold on to her until morning? Because I am simply not going to go along with that. And just why do you think you can use me like a babysitting service this frequently anyways? Because I am getting sick of having to always be the one who watches over Nina. Erica, I really still have no clue what this is all about. What this is about is the fact that my house is not some free daycare service, okay? Now, just hurry up and come and get your kid from me. But Nina is here at home, sleeping, right next to me. What are you talking about? I mean that my daughter Nina is literally here right next to me, fast asleep. So I have no idea who I would be going to pick up if I went to your house, because I only have one daughter, and it's Nina. But then, wait, you're telling me that you only have a little girl? Yeah, that's right. Of course, Nina has male cousins like your son. But are you sure that you're not mistaking her for someone else? I remember you saying that so many relatives were having so many kids that it was getting difficult to keep track of them. But it was Rick that brought this kid to me. He brought them here and asked me to watch them. What do you mean Rick brought you this kid? Well, at first I tried telling him no, and that I'm really no good with kids. But he just wouldn't listen and did what he always does, leave them on my doorstep for me to watch anyway. And so, anyways, I've been taking care of this kid all day and all night. And now it's past midnight, and I want someone to come and pick him up. I see. But Rick had to leave for a business trip this morning. I even saw him off, and he was all dressed up for work. Wait, what? But I thought today was your anniversary. I thought that was why I was watching this kid in the first place. No, it's not our anniversary at all. That happened months ago. And we went out as a family to go eat somewhere together. But then, hold on. I don't get it. Just whose kid is this that I've been taking care of then? Well, whatever is going on here, I can head to your place right now. Because apparently, Rick does have something to do with this. I'm going to wake up Nina to bring her too, so hold on for a second. Hey Rick, I'm really sorry to be calling you so late like this, but Nina said she really wanted to hear your voice. So that's why I was trying to call.
Oh, well, that's just a bit cute. I mean, I barely even left the house, but I don't think now is a good time for me to come to the phone. So if you could just please tell Nina that, and that I'll talk to her soon. That would be great.
But why can't you pick up the phone right now? I mean, I know you're on a business trip and all, but it's almost 2 a.m. I can't imagine that work is keeping you so busy that that's why you're still up, right?
Actually, one of the guys I came here with made some pretty big mistakes, so I'm in the room with him helping him fix this mess. I didn't actually go on this trip by myself, you know. They sent me with someone else from the office.
Oh, really? I didn't know that you had someone else there, but I feel like that's kind of odd for your company to send 2 people like that.
I guess that they wanted this to be a kind of learning opportunity for this other guy. But anyways, that's the reason why I can't talk on the phone right now, but I can send you the photos I've taken. Maybe you can show that to Nina to get her to quiet down for a while.
A picture, huh? Yeah, that could work. Why not send me a picture of you and your coworker together? I'm sure that Nina would love to see who you're there with.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, come on. It's already so late. Just do this now and I'm sure it'll be enough for Nina. Unless you can't because there isn't any coworker there, because you're just having a plain old affair right now. So go ahead and send me a photo of you and this other woman.
Wait, Helen, you've got this all wrong. I mean, you don't really think that I'm out cheating on you, do you?
I don't think, Rick. I know for a fact. So don't even bother trying to lie to me about that. I already know all of what's going on here. And I know that you dropped off this woman's kid with your sister to watch over while you were gone. But you also told Erica that you were going to be away on a business trip.
Oh, shoot. Well, I guess there isn't really much use in trying to hide anything from you now, is there?
You know, I got a call from your sister asking me to go and pick up our kid from her house. But Nina was in the house with me. And when I did go to her house, there was some little boy there that I had never seen. Which means that those toys and clothes I found earlier had to be for this kid. Am I right?
No. You really do have this all wrong. And this boy has nothing to do with those things you found in the closet earlier.
Okay then. Why don't you go ahead and tell me the truth then? You said yourself that I found out everything, right?
Did I? That was just a typo. You know my fat thumbs with this tiny keyboard, right? The fact is that I'm not having an affair or anything like that with you.
But you just said that I found out the truth and that you were.
I know, but I was lying. I really am just away on a business trip. And the person I'm with is nothing but a coworker.
Okay, well then what about the boy that you asked Erica to watch for you? What do you have to say about him?
Right, that boy. Well, obviously he's my coworker's kid. And I had to ask Erica to watch him while we were away on a business trip.
Oh, really? Because Erica has told me that this isn't the first or even the second time she had to watch this little boy.
Well, that's because my coworker has a really hard time trying to find a good babysitting service. I mean, things are so expensive these days, you know? And so I just wanted to try and help out as someone who was supposed to be giving them this training.
So you're really going to try sticking to this coworker story of yours then? I guess I can just call your work first thing tomorrow and find out the truth myself.
Wait, what? Come on, you don't have to go and do that.
Well, I wouldn't, but there's just one thing that's not adding up. One of this little boy's backpack, one of his parents' contact information is written down. And it says that this little boy's mom is a woman named Delilah Brown. So are you still going to keep pretending that this is just some coworker's kid?
Okay, wait. Please, just don't jump to any conclusions. And whatever you do, don't call my company. They have nothing to do with this.
Well, I could figure out that much by myself. But I really doubt that they would like to hear of the trouble you've caused, all in the name of going on business trip for your company.
You wouldn't really report anything about this to them, would you?
I'm going to give you one last chance to tell the truth, Rick. Now tell me whose child this is. If you tell me right now, then I won't tell your company.
It's the son of the woman that I've been having an affair with. There, are you happy?
Now that we have that settled, I want you to come back here right away. You and I have a lot to talk about.
You mean you want me to go all the way back home right now? But it's the middle of the night. How am I supposed to do that?
I guess you had better hire an Uber or something, because I want you and this Delilah lady here right now.
I don't believe this. This can't be happening.
It is, and I know that you've been lying to me about this for a long, long time. But I never would have thought that you were cheating on me. And then to force your sister to watch this woman's kid while you two go away together? You really are just an idiot, do you know that? And this Delilah woman sounds like a real piece of work too. I mean, entrusting her child to some stranger so she can go fool around with you? It's awful.
Wait, no, you don't get it. The thing is that Erica's actually the kid's aunt.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Delilah's son is also my son.
I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that you've been hiding the secret child from me this whole time? And what about our daughter? What about our family?
Well, I mean, you know that I love you too, but this kind of just happened.
I don't even know what to say. I am beyond anger at this point. But you two need to get back here right now. We need to settle this once and for all.
Erica, come on. Open the door, please. I came back and you're still not going to let me back in the house?
Tell me, Rick, do you have any idea what time it is? I thought Helen told you to get back here first thing in the morning. Well, it is almost evening. Besides, if you're looking for Helen, she isn't here. Her and Nina are both not here, in fact.
But then, where are they? Why am I here?
You're here because you were always dumping your son on me to watch him. When I told Helen about what was going on, at least she offered to pay for all the free labor that you had gotten out of him. In fact, she told me exactly where you hid all the money that you thought nobody else knew about. And when I opened up your safe, I saw that you had $3,000 stashed away. So I took all that money as back payment for the child watching services I did for you.
You took all of my money? You've got to be kidding me. But fine, whatever. Can you at least tell me where my wife and kid are right now? Just let me in the house so we can talk about this.
I'm sorry, but you are not going to be getting in this house. I don't want to see your dirty, cheating face ever again, in fact. In fact, if I did let you in, I can tell you that I wouldn't be able to hold back from socking you right in the face. But if you really must know, your wife and kid are back at her parents' house where they are safe from you. She actually dropped by in the afternoon to see if you had come, but I told her that you still hadn't shown up. I think she did want to talk to you about all of this, but when she thought you were cowering out of it, she gave up and went back to her parents' house. And no, I don't think that she ever wants to talk to you ever again.
You've got this all wrong. I mean, I said the wrong things. And I tried to come back in time, but there was nothing leaving that would have let me arrive any sooner.
Why don't you just go and tell your wife all these excuses to her instead of me? Because I really don't care how you try and justify any of this to yourself.
So then, you really think that if I go to her parents' house that Helen would talk to me?
Why on earth do you think I would have the answer to that question? And not that you've asked about your other child, but he's with our parents, so you can go and pick him up as well.
Wait a second. Does that mean that mom and dad know all about what's going on there?
That's right, and they were not happy to learn what you had been up to. So it sounds to me like you've got a lot to deal with. Hey, I finished signing my portion of the divorce papers, so I'll be sending them to you to sign. And you should know that I'm going to be suing you and Delilah for your affair. Not to mention the fact that you're going to have to pay child support.
Please, don't do this to me, Helen. You have to know this is all just one big mistake.
No, trust. I know just what a mistake being with you was now. But that's why we're getting a divorce. And once we're through with it, I'm going to block you on everything and never talk to you again.
Please, you have to reconsider. You can't do this to me. I mean, I don't want to lose you and Nina.
Why? What does it matter when you have a whole other family you can go home to? A whole other wife and kid even. I don't see why you need Nina and I around.
But you don't get it. Delilah's kid isn't actually mine. We're not connected by blood at all.
What are you talking about? The other day you told me that he was your son.
I know, but it was only after that Delilah told me that it was a lie and that we weren't related at all. He's some other guy's son. So I was being lied to this whole time too.
You have got to be kidding me.
Well, the thing is that when you said you were going to leave me, I was sure that I had no other choice but to marry Delilah. But then she went and admitted that her son was never mine and that she also was lying to me about that.
So then you and that boy really aren't related at all?
If what Delilah says can be trusted, I guess not. But I already knew that she had some other men on the side, so I'm not all that surprised. Although I guess she lost contact with the father before she could make him take responsibility, so that's why she told me the kid was mine.
So then you tricked me and you were being tricked by her. But surely you must have had some sense that the kid wasn't your son, right?
What makes you say that?
Because you still call the child yours. It's clear that even if you two aren't related by blood, that you still feel like a father to this boy.
Well, that isn't my fault. She tricked me into being there for him. But the only real child of mine is Nina, so please don't take her away from me.
If you didn't want this to happen, then you should have never cheated on me in the first place. Now hurry up and sign the divorce papers, or else I'm never going to let you even have visiting rights with Nina.
You wouldn't really do that to me, would you?
Of course I would. Do you have any idea just how betrayed I feel right now? It's like my whole married life has been a lie because of the way you tricked me. But you didn't just trick me. You even lied to your sister and roped her into watching Delilah's son so that the two of you could go and carry on your affair. You ruined the trust you had with so many people who loved and cared about you. And for what? Well, I don't want to hear any more excuses from you. You are going to take responsibility for what you've done, divorce me, pay the alimony and child support, and that is that. Now, the next time you hear from me, it will be to discuss when our lawyers can meet. But until then, I don't want to hear, see, or even have to think about you. After that, Rick finally saw the light and agreed to divorce me without putting up any more of a fight. I was really worried that he was going to drag this process out. His parents, however, were so furious with him that they practically forced him to sign the papers. By the time it was all done, Rick was so ashamed that he just wanted to pay everything at once so as to never deal with either of us again. I wasn't even sure when he would be able to visit with Nina in his state, but that meant that he had to pay alimony, the legal fees from the lawsuit, as well as child support in a lump sum that left him drowning in debt. Rick wasn't the only one being sued, however. I also sued Delilah for her affair with my husband. In court, she tried to talk to me mother to mother and explain that she wouldn't be able to afford such hefty fines and still be able to take care of her son. But I just told her that as a mother, it was her job to explain to her son why this was happening. She realized I was going to show no mercy and ended up paying the court's fine in full. I hear that Rick still goes to Delilah's house now and then and plays with her son. I don't know what's going on in his head at all, but I think this might be his way of trying to make up for all the lives he ruined with his foolishness.
Hey, Taylor, I have something to say to you. I decided to take your boyfriend and make him mine. From today, Liam is officially my boyfriend.
Daisy, what the heck are you talking about? What made you suddenly say all this to me?
Didn't you understand what I said before? Liam is here next to me saying that he wants to become my boyfriend. So from today onwards, that's what he'll be. Since you're such a wise adult, you need to back off, all right?
Are you kidding me right now, Daisy?
I have nothing to kid about. After all, a beautiful woman deserves to be with someone of her own kind. Liam has such a handsome-looking face. And above all that, he's a doctor with a high annual income. Of course, he's the perfect type of guy for me.
Okay, now just hold on a minute, Daisy. Liam is actually next to you and saying all of this? Actually, now that I think about it, I wasn't able to get in contact with him yesterday. You're not telling me that you both got together yesterday and decided on this.
Well, yes, we meet up yesterday, but we've been together basically all of this week. We started to living together in his room, actually.
You're already living together? Don't you know that he's my fiancé? We had already promised each other that we were going to get married and plan a ceremony for next year. And now he turns around and says he wants to become your boyfriend? What do you mean that you've been living together since this week?
No matter what you promise to each other, it no longer matters. Liam doesn't want to be with you anymore. He doesn't even like you. And that he wants to date me instead.
What the heck is going on here? Daisy, are you for real?
Well, I think that any man would choose me over you. Who would want to date the sister who was always too serious and super ugly over the young and beautiful younger sister anyways? That's why he chose to be with me. Because I'm hot. And well, you're not.
What? Are you just messing with my head right now? Could it really be that my fiancé was stolen away by my own younger sister?
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Stop trying to marry such a good and handsome man when you're so ugly and don't deserve someone like that. It's such a waste for you to have someone like Liam. Oh, that's right. Should I take this opportunity to introduce a suitable man to you, big sister?
I don't need you to do anything like that.
Oh, come on now. Don't say things like that. I know an ugly guy that would be perfect for you. However, it's my ex-boyfriend.
Are you kidding me, Daisy?
No, I'll give you my ex-boyfriend, William. He's ugly and not my type at all, so I can give him to you. But he does have a lot of money. He's an elite member of a pretty large company, so his annual income is good. That's why I put up with him for so long and continue dating him. But I don't need him anymore.
You didn't need him, but dated him anyways. And now you go ahead and steal my fiancé, and he let you? How could you just treat someone like that by dragging them along and giving the poor guy false hope? What you've done is the worst thing I can possibly think of.
I don't really care what I do to the boyfriends I have. I do whatever I want. I only ever saw William as an ATM. He was just my bank. Then I thought, is there a man out there that can give me more money than William and that's more handsome? So, of course, I switched it up really quickly so I could get what I want.
I feel so bad for your ex-boyfriend, who I never got to meet. I can't believe a girlfriend like you would think to do that.
If you feel so sorry for him, then why don't you just go and comfort him, huh? I mean, why don't you both get married already, since you're both ugly and would go well together?
Get married to a stranger? Have you gone mad?
You know, I heard something from Liam, actually, that you want to have a child really soon. Is that right? And then, just when you're about to get married to Liam, I swoop in and steal him away and take so much opportunities. Oops. Even if you were to go out and find a man right now, it would be a ticking time bomb since you're 30 years old. There's absolutely no man on this planet who would want to marry such an old woman like you and have children with her. So, why don't you marry my ex-boyfriend as soon as possible?
Wow, Daisy. Thank you for your excellent advice in my love life. You know, I never thought the person who would ruin my potential marriage to someone would be so kind to me.
Whoa. Now, why are you getting so aggro at me, Taylor? I'm literally giving you William so that I can have your doctor fiancé. He's all mine now. There would be no problems in exchanging boyfriends now, would there?
I guess not. Fine. I guess I'll go ahead and marry William. If that's what you want so bad, then fine. I'll give you what you want. What do you think of that?
Wow, really? Are you serious? That's actually hilarious. I never expected my oh-so-serious older sister would come along for the ride. Well then, I'll give William all of your contact details later, and we can go on with our lives.
Hello, is this Taylor? I'm William, Daisy's ex-boyfriend. She gave me your number. Is it true that you want to marry me? Or is this some kind of practical joke? Daisy told me to contact you about wanting to get married and that sort of thing.
Oh, hello, William. It is nice to meet you, I guess. Ugh, I'm so sorry about my stupid sister. She can really be such a pain in the butt. I mean, I've had to live with her my whole life, so I know what I'm talking about. Whilst Daisy was dating you, she was dating my fiancé and thinks it would be a great idea to swap partners. Why, I don't know.
You're fine. There's no need to apologize to me about any of this. Besides, I was fully aware that I was being treated like an ATM. I always thought that something like this would happen someday. I never expected that Daisy's sister would say that she wanted to go out with me. Is this some kind of practical joke?
Well, it definitely wasn't a joke. I was being serious about that.
Whoa, what? Really? I mean, that is actually all just news that I'm hearing for the first time ever.
Yeah, I don't know why it happened this way. I'm sorry. I know that this probably isn't how you wanted things to go down either. But sometimes, I guess life just throws a curveball at you, huh? I don't know. I guess it just goes to show that you can never really know what's going to happen from one day to the next. I was actually joking. Or rather, the words just kind of slipped out of my mouth. I was so angry at my sister's attitude towards me. I mean, she is really just such a selfish jerk. I can honestly hardly even believe that someone like her really exists. I was shocked about all the cheating that's been going on, and I was so confused about a lot of other things. Then I just said that I would marry you instead of my ex. I know it's kind of crazy, but I guess that I was just so upset with the way she was talking to me and treating me. I guess I just kind of saw red and said the first thing that came to my mind, you know? I just wanted to get married to someone as soon as possible and just be happy again.
Oh, okay, so that's what you meant by wanting to marry me. I completely understand how you feel about that. I also just want to be happy again and forget what those two horrible people have done to me.
For sure. That's totally understandable. I feel the same way.
I'm also desperately wanting to forget the shock of being dumped in, quick. They say that the way to forget a crappy breakup is to find another love. Is that right? And that's why I go to a lot of matchmaking parties, but I just keep going around in circles and it's not great.
But isn't it amazing how those sorts of parties can work out for people wanting to find love? I also want to get married soon and have children, so I want to work hard to do that.
Oh, wow, so you're in quite a rush to have a child, huh? I actually had no idea about that at all. I don't think your sister ever mentioned anything like that to me at all.
Well, actually, when I was little, it was a constant dream of mine to be a mother one day. I want to give birth and have a loving and happy family by my side.
That's great news. I had the same dream as well. When I was a little boy, I dreamed of being a father. I wanted a wife and child that I could take care of and support with being in that father role. But when you say something like that at a matchmaking party, I kept hearing things like, "You're the type of guy who will push childbearing duties onto the wife."
Really? That's so not true. I think your dream is wonderful.
Wow, that's the first time someone has said something like that to me. Okay, Taylor, would you want to get married to me? That's if you don't mind. Wait, no, it doesn't seem right to suddenly get married, does it? What do you think of getting married without having dated or even met? This is the first time I met someone whose values about marriage have been really close to mine. Although we were both rejected by our exes, I think we do have some sort of connection.
That's certainly true, but I think it's fine. We're both looking for our next partner in life.
Well, I was dating your little sister, so please rest assured that I have no physical connection to her anymore. After all, she did treat me like an ATM and wasn't doing anything that a typical lover would do for their partner.
Really? She didn't take care of you?
I loved her so much, so I just contributed a lot to the relationship, while maybe she didn't as much. Like when we go out on a date, she wouldn't even hold hands or touch me at all, and I think it's because I didn't feel good being around her and being on edge all the time. We didn't do anything that typical couples would do. We never even stayed at each other's house overnight.
How could a girl be so cruel to someone she's supposed to be in love with? But on the contrary, I'm relieved you got out of it. I think we'll have fun going out together, William. I really do.
Oh, okay. So, would you like to go out with me sometime? I'm sorry it's odd to ask you out even though we haven't really met face to face yet.
Well, yeah, come to think of it, no, we haven't met before. But it's okay. I mean, through this messaging alone, I think you're a really honest and respectable guy. I'm looking forward to meeting you, William.
You've really
really done it this time, Taylor. You're actually dating William, aren't you? That's so insane to me. And it's so funny that you're actually married to him now. I couldn't stop laughing when I heard the story from Mom earlier. Well, at the time, you said that I should get married to William. What's wrong with taking your word literally and doing that? Oh my god, my stomach hurts from laughing so much. But I think you both look really great together, even though you're both ugly. Without a doubt, you can definitely have children now. But if the parents are ugly, then the children will definitely be ugly too. I feel so sorry already for them. Actually, Daisy, I'm already pregnant. That's why we decided to get married really soon. It's for the purpose of having a baby. I knew it! You're already pregnant with your ugly child! Well, William and I are joining forces as we want to be happy together. So don't even think about getting involved with us ever again. Even when my child is born, we aren't letting you meet it. I've explained the situation to our parents, and William doesn't want to see you either. Oh, I see. Do what you like, Taylor. Besides, I'm going to end way happier than you both will ever be. Even if an ugly person gets married and has children, he can't beat a life of a beautiful woman like me. It's about time for me to get married to Liam and live a happy life like I'm a celebrity. Wow. You're still having an affair with him, I see. Naturally. Of course I am. There's no way I'd miss out on a good-looking doctor with a high income. I will definitely be wanting to marry Liam. And I can enjoy my life as a celebrity in the luxury apartment of my dreams. A new mansion just opened near the airport in that fancy suburb. I'm so excited that I'll be able to see it soon. Huh? Did you say near the airport? A super high-end tower apartment with a gym and a beauty salon recently opened. I said to Liam that I wanted to live there, and he replied that that would be the perfect place for us. Isn't that sweet? I'm sure he's preparing to buy it now and keep it a secret from me. I hate to break it to you, little sister, but we already live in that apartment you wanted. Wait, what? So, it's a bit late to start preparing yourself to live there, isn't it? I heard that all the rooms in the building are sold out. No way. You're kidding me, right? Now, just hang on a minute there, Taylor. How the heck are you and William able to afford to live in a luxury apartment like that? You can't just live there if you aren't a wealthy person that works for a big company. You and ugly William would never be able to afford the rent for a place like that. Didn't you know that William is the heir of a real estate tycoon? Are you serious? What are you talking about? This is the first time that I'm hearing about any of this. Are you really trying to tell me that I didn't even know who my own fiancé was? Do you really think I'm just going to believe you like that? Actually, I didn't buy it in the first place. William got it from a real estate agent who manages the luxury apartments, you see. Wait, what? That's how he got it? The luxury apartment? And what do you mean that he's the heir of a real estate tycoon? What did you say about that earlier? You never followed up on that one detail that I said I hadn't heard of before. I had no idea about any of that before now, so I want you to tell me what in the world is that you're talking about, because I had no idea about any of that until now. And I have to say that if what you're trying to tell me in these text messages is actually really indeed true, then that is just crazy. Well, I'm only just telling you the truth, Daisy, okay? I mean, what would I have to gain from lying to you about this, right? Why would I even think of doing something like that? Does that really sound like me? You know that isn't something that I would actually lie about, right? Apparently, William's family have been in the real estate business for generations. His ancestors owned large pieces of land. And what's that got to do with it? I don't understand what that fact that you just told me has anything to do with the situation that I'm talking about with you now. You better explain to me how one of those things has anything to do with the other, because things just aren't adding up for me at all with the information that you're giving me. Well, when they built that luxury apartment block near the airport, it seemed that the management company asked his family to sell the land and cooperate with them on the project. But that's not fair. I had no idea that his family were so well off. Well, you should have done your homework before you decided to go and run off with my fiancé. He doesn't make as much as you think he does. He's good and making things bigger than they actually are.
But he was so convincing. This just isn't fair. William was my boyfriend first. I should be with him. Please, call the marriage off with him. I deserve all the nice things in life.
Don't you get it, Daisy? You're so dim sometimes. William doesn't want anything to do with you, period. Stay away from him and stay away from me for that matter. You screwed me over and him as well. If you come anywhere near us, we'll involve the authorities. Good luck with your own life. Goodbye forever.
But you can't just cut me off like that. I basically handed you William. I need him back so I can get the things I want. This is not over. Get back here and reply to me. This is so not fair.
After that, our child was born safe and well. Our little family is living happily and peacefully together. Rumor has it that Daisy thinks she'll be more happier than her older sister. Due to William's kindness, he's at a much higher level of man than Liam ever was. It seems like Liam was playing around with his money and letting it speak for him. He was thinning on top of his head, and his number of girlfriends decreased. Lately, he's been spending most of his nights alone. Daisy moved to another city after feeling embarrassed about being cut off by her parents. She spends a lot of her time trying to earn money to stay afloat.